You know, some people are already responding. A lot of people are listening to what it is you're saying. Dan Lami Dauda Omar says that C-130 is not a fighter jet. Olajide says what was shown in the footage is a chopper and not a fighter jet.
Okay, whatever it is. The important thing is whether it was a chopper or a fighter jet, that's not even our argument now. The point is, which particular chopper was that? What was the business of the chopper hovering around a particular building 4 times before the incident?
Did you call the attention of the authorities to this particular incident? If you were worried, I mean, if it was something that was seen by everybody and everyone was wondering what is going on here, did you call the attention of the authorities to it?
You mean before the incident or after?
Yes, before the incident.
This thing happened within 30, 45 minutes?
This hovering around.
Yes.
Everything happened
I told you
within an hour.
between 11:30 to 12:15. The time, everything. Between 11:30 to 12:15.
Was there an explosion?
Yes, from the cameras were seen.
And there was a sound of the explosion around.
Don't forget, like I said, these days of modern technology, there must not be such sound of explosion. But if you watch these clips and you listen to some of the South Africans that were there, the survivors, one of them said the sound they had. Okay? Not just one of them, but 4 of them, they said the noise they had.
And okay, does the CCTV have audio?
Yes, of course.
And they didn't capture the sound of the explosion?
Well, like I said, these things are clearly there. Even from the CCTV, you see the sound, but it depends on the level of sound you're expecting. Because when somebody talks about sound of explosion now, okay?
No, you've looked through all the
Yes,
CCTV
I said
footage.
It was captured.
The sound of the explosion was captured there.
Clearly, we can play it.
Let us also talk about what happened, after the explosion.
Yes.
This you say is a controlled demolition. A lot of people here are also saying, because we spoke to a structural engineer, they say if there's uniform overload on a structure, it could also collapse like that. And these are engineers speaking. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know what they're saying, but that's what it is a possibility. Is a possibility.
Fine. That's an angle to it, and we're bringing an angle to it.
Oh yes, definitely.
Well, how do we resolve it?
Let us quickly talk about what happened after this. What do you call that now? After the explosion,
after the demolition.
The demolition. You say it's a demolition
yes.
after the collapse. I think that
no, for us, it's a demolition. It's a controlled demolition.
Well, a controlled demolition or a demolition. Either way, the building comes down. It collapses, right?
No, it didn't collapse because in terms of collapsing,
is the building still standing?
No, it's not standing. It's demolished. If it's collapsed, it's either one floor will go down or it will go down.
I have to chuckle because whether something is controlled, or it happens by itself, either way, the building collapses, and it's a building collapse. Whether or not it is a controlled demolition.
My sister. If this place is demolished, you cannot say it's collapsed. They are not the same.
But it came down. It comes down, right? What is a collapse?
It was brought down.
Yeah, it was brought down. So it has come down. So it is a collapse.
It didn't come down on its own. Okay. That's our point.
Well, you can choose whatever word you want to use. Let us ask what happened after that. We understand that, responders, the first responders, when they got on site, were not allowed in. Why?
Who were not allowed in?
The first responders. It took close to almost 2 days.
The Lagos State Emergency Agency, NEMA, they were all on tape. Even journalists saying they did not allow them.
If you are talking about journalists, when they said they were not allowed, you said, I listened to one of you now saying they were not allowed to be, he said that dignitaries were not coming. He was showing you.
That wasn't the first time.
That was the one I saw.
Yes.
Now, allowed in where? Do they mean allowed into the church auditorium?
Into the premises where the building collapsed to access the site.
Who stopped them? Who?
They said your members.
Not true.
NEMA was
here. It's not possible.
Lasema was here.
No, it's not possible. And we challenge any of them to come out and say they were stopped by our men, our members.
Are you denying that happened?
That what happened? If people were complaining about NEMA or security agencies preventing them from getting access to the place, that's their job.
Because a lot of people believe that more lives could have been saved if they had had access to getting into that structure on time.
Then you should be asking the security, the emergency group people that were called in to do this. If they had cordoned off the place, if they have denied people access to the place, what the point I'm making is that if the church and the members did not deny anybody access to the place.
All right,
The church were calling on people to come and assist.
Just looking through the questions that actually there's so many questions here for you, but then let me see if I could take this off Jeff. He says, how many explosive do you have an idea of how many explosive were there if they caught those who might have detonated it? Because from the clips you have of the previous controlled demolition, was it similar to this one? The ones you've watched, according to you?
Well, answering about the number of explosives, and do not forget that when you have security cameras around the place, it's not as if you knew these things were going to happen this way and they are focused there. So from the much captured by one of these cameras, we can see about 4 of them. Okay? That's talking about the number of explosives. When you watch the clips, you can see how they went up. So there were about 4 of them from the much this particular camera could capture.
Uche says, as a former soldier, it's almost impossible not to have fragments after detonation if a bomb was the cause.
I agree with him, which is why we are calling. That's why we are saying that concentrating investigations around looking for building plans, leaving off every other aspect of it, that this thing should be checked. It's not our job to do. Okay. They should check these places.
All right,
they should check about the fragments, whatever, and see if there are still other explosives that are not yet detonated.
Okay, lots of journalists were there on that first day, and the first report, which you may not have seen, about how members of the church prevented them from getting access to the place.
Members of the church?
Let's get this report so that you listen to it and comment on it afterwards. All right, I understand the report is not ready, so hopefully when they get that report, we'll get it to you. But now that you...
Because it's possible that somebody can be claiming to be a member of the church.
No, NEMA,
that was on
Lasema were all there, and they said the members did not allow them. But we'll also attempt to...
If they say people on passers-by, or even their people, but what our contention is that no member of the church stopped anybody, because the members of the church were interested in people coming in to assist.
Okay, I think it's ready now. Let's listen to it. I don't seem to be getting clear direction on this one, but what if it turns out, because the church is saying, look, this is demolition, is an attack, and that is it. What if they investigate and find out that actually it was a structural defect, because you're energetically hinging your argument on this controlled explosion? What if that's not the case?
Well, that is why there must be an investigation. All we're asking is, let there be an investigation.
Okay.
An investigation that has to be all-inclusive, that has to be not an investigation targeted as if someone somewhere has made up his or her mind to label this, that.